So, welcome back to our videos. We had stopped at the point where the Soviet impulse was concluded, and then we discarded the command card, and now there is an auxiliary card in the auxiliary card box, and this one, it hasn't been used during the attack. I mean, I would love for that attack to have happened before, and you know, spend the card, but okay, can't have what we want, don't we? So long story short, we move it to the command card, and again execute a command with this card now, and it's again the 6th Army units. And if you wonder how that's possible, let me remind you that contrary to the human player, the AI of the system, the Soviets, don't suffer from the restriction in consecutive activation, so they can activate the same army again and again and again, and that's quite bad actually for us, but I mean, it's happening. So first of all, yeah, in order we check, let me get the procedure straight. Okay, this is now the command card. We check the commands in the card in order and proceed accordingly. So first is a command to activate. In order to activate, we have to have at least one non-isolated unit of the formation of the 6th Army on the map or in the reserve box. No units in the reserve box, but all the units in on the map right now are non-isolated, of course, so this activation is going to happen. So, but if you remember the previous one, you can see it was it said 6th Army, and this one has a difference. It says 6th Army units, and the difference is that we can activate up to 2 units or stacks in the 6th Army, and these have not to be in VP hex. And of course, all army reserves, no reserves right now, so we can't activate any of them. So let's go over to the 6th Army on our map and see how we are going to select the units to activate. Okay, so these are the units of the 6th Army. Nothing has changed, of course, from the previous part. So 5 units in 4 hexes, and let's select the 2 units or stacks that are going to be activated. There are some preferences of the card, and of course it calls for the activation of all army reserves. There are no reserves right now to be activated, so we'll stick with the units on the map. So prefer first supplied, everyone is supplied. B, not surrounded. No, this one, because yeah, would say control, but these two are not in German, so not surrounded. Okay, everyone's not surrounded. Then highest strength, and I think that since the method allows us to activate stacks of units, up to 2 stacks units by themselves, or stacks of units, I mean, the logical thing is to combine the strength of the units in a stack. So yeah, that's how I'm going to calculate it, and then if I'm misinterpreting something, please let me know. So this is strength 7, yeah, obviously this one, and then this is strength 3, this is strength 3, and this is strength 4. So we've got our 2 units slash stacks that we are going to activate. This stack here and this unit here are the highest strength. Well, the next preference would be most units. Well, still a choice remains, yeah, 2. And the lowest selector, then yes, I mean, it would again come down to boil down to these 2 units, but okay, it's based, let me get it clear, we're based on the 3rd selector, highest strength we have found. We've been able to identify the 2 units or stacks with the highest strength. So these are the only two ones that will be activated and considered active, because that's what matters when we examine, let's say, an attack. So since we've got the units activated on the front, we have to check again for the objective relocation of the active front, and we conduct the check against the units of the active front, no matter if they are not themselves activated. So let me move this a little bit here. I hope I won't disturb it too much. Yes, okay. I mean, we're close to the end of the third day, so 2 days have passed. I mean, Stavka must be mad at Popov. I mean, they are adjacent, but they're not occupying the hex, because the rules call for if the objective hex is unoccupied, which is the case here. So what you do is check for proximity. A unit in active front occupies, doesn't occupy, or is proximate to unoccupied marker hex. I mean, the hex is not occupied by German unit, they're adjacent but not. So if a unit is proximate to, and the question is any unit proximate, and well, one would say, yeah, I mean, every unit is, all these units are proximate, they can reach, and the cut here is they have to enter the hex. Can they in one movement reach and enter the hex to be proximate to it? And the answer, as in the previous part, is again no, because in order to do that they would have to move ZOC to ZOC, zone of control to zone, and they can't do that. They can go around, but they don't have, we have already examined it, they can go around. I mean, the way I have set up the units, my units in such a way that they cannot go, I mean, there are zones of control everywhere, even this unit, okay, they can't move out of zone of control. It's practically surrounded, because this unit starts in the zone of control of these two units. It can't go it can't go here. It would be zone of control and zone of control to zone of control of the same unit, no less. And oh, come on. And of course, if it moved here, it would be, if it would move here, it would be from the zone of control of this unit straight into the zone of control of the second SS units there. So this is not allowed. The same goes, of course, with this unit. Can't go. It could be if it go here, but it would enter the zone of control of this unit, and you can't do that. And no other units can, because the moment they enter our zones of control here, here, and here, they would have to stop. And yeah, they could, again, the same here, they can't go through here. This unit is interesting because it has kind of breached our lines. I mean, we have left a gap here unwillingly, but we had to do it. We had to secure this. I mean, if we had the way here would be quite open, these units would be surrounded by Popov, and right now we have kind of stemmed Popov's advance. They haven't advanced that fast. They would be via at least, or even further right now. So well, let's check. This is the only unit that it could move, because but it can't reach. I mean, okay, it could be 2 to break zone of control, it would be 3 here, and it could even enter these woods. I mean, so no other unit has the potential. If these units, highly mobile units, next to the objective. If there can't be proximate, no other units can't. And I think we have overanalyzed this. Again, if you spot a mistake, please let me know. But I don't think, I mean, zone of control movement, I mean, I have played enemy action Ardennes, me, and I think most of you watching this video would have played enemy action, and then yeah, there you have to master the art of moving around or trying to go through zones of control, of opening the zones of control just enough to get some units through. So I don't think I'm mistaken. So this objective is not going to go anywhere, at least for the time being. I mean, yeah, every move the Soviets could make. I mean, if and that's interesting. If I hadn't, if this unit wasn't here, okay, then this hex wouldn't be in zone of control, and this unit could go 2 and then 3, and yes, that would be proximate. But now that I have moved, this unit has retreated actually here, it exerts control on this hex, so this movement would be again from the zone of control of this unit to the zone of control of the same unit, and this totally not happening. So we're good. Well, and I don't think, I mean, they've got three more cards, anything could happen, but well, anyway, I don't think Stavka is going to be too happy about it. So let's get back to our 6th army units and the activation procedures. So let's get to we have examined all the possibilities for relocation. Let's go to our beloved movement methods, and let's try to get it right first time, this one. So again, let me remind you, I do it from time to time, it's turn 1, so throughout game turns 1 or 4, it has been mentioned in the errata, the Soviet movement methods say are used no matter what. Okay, so and again, let me remind you that we are examining this stack and this unit. And first method, take VP hex descending order, so that would be this unit, and okay, again, no VP hex can be taken. I mean, the closest unoccupied VP hex would be beyond well, beyond here. You can see it can't reach the, I mean, even if there were no zones of control, it couldn't reach it. And the same goes for number 4, same hex, same points, and let's say, just for the sake of it, let's examine if they can take VP hex, and the closest would be Slovakia, but as you can remember, they can't even reach. The best they can is 2 here to break some or 2 here to break some or 3, 4. The best they can do is get here and stop, or get here or something like that, or go 1, 2, 3, and again they can't, they don't have enough movement points to cross the Donets, and so they actually can't go there, because just checking the terrain effect chart to be sure, to cross the Donets River infantry it would require +1, so yeah, they can't even cross the river and successfully enter the hex, so no VP hex. So second, adjacent to German VP hex and near objective, yeah, that would be interesting, because that unit is close to a German, could reach, well, we'll have to see, but this VP hex is yeah, it's I suspect it's 1 further from the objective, and it's not targeted for the active. It doesn't prefer hex targeted exclusively, but it's preference, it's not required. So just for the sake of it, let's examine. I mean, there that's Zmiev as well, but can yeah, let me see that. Maybe we can get out. It's ascending order, so yes, this is number 3. And yes, I think this can do it. Skip method 2, move to closer 2, and let's see this hex, but let me count very carefully here. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We ignore everything, of course. And this hex, it could do it because it could go 2, 3, and 4. Yes, and this hex is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let me count again. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's closer. Closer by 1. Of course, it's closer by 1. We, I mean, in this direction, it's probably the same. And again, sorry about that. You haven't seen anything. Okay, let me fix this. Yeah. Oh, need to fix. Yes. Now you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, we're talking about if it's able to reach here, and it is, because it would go 2 to break zone of control, and 3 and 4 it would be adjacent to German VP hex and the near objective. With the hex closer to objective, yes, and we said that this hex is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the objective, while this hex is hex that is current now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 1 closer, yes, and this is going to happen. Now it's 2 breaking zone of control, 3 here, not zone of control, 4 here, yeah, because we have vacated this hex. I mean, if we've kept this unit here, it would be better, but I'm quite optimistic right now. So this unit has become a little of a problem. It has started wandering behind our lines, but I don't think that this lone unit is our main problem right now. So yeah, that's a valid move. I mean, even if this hex was equidistant, then it's the preference, because it says to prefer exclusively by the active front, so that would be our first preference. Well, there is a preference for not for the least German strength, but it's not, I mean, it's not closer. Okay, the requirement is to be closer, so by 1, but yes, it's closer. And let me count again just to be certain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, and it goes here, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, we're good. So okay, number 3 has done it. Number 4, can it move adjacent to German VP hex and your objective? I mean, the closest German VP hex, again, no, it can't reach here. I mean, no, I mean, even if there were no zones of control, no German VP hex around, the closest would be Kramatorsk, but let me see. Yes, maybe it can do it, but it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. No, and 3 and 4, and yeah, and the same goes for number 8. It can't go. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Nowhere near Kramatorsk or any other German VP hex. They obviously don't have enough points to get down there. They would have to go all the way around. Okay, so that's it. Number 3, open supply line, no until around 3. And then number 4, as I've said, 6th Army is not spearhead unit. And no, have you seen it? No, of course not. Oh, come on. Again, sorry, but these units, both of them, they can't. I mean, next we would examine number 4. It can't reach Kramatorsk, which is the closest, because 1, 2, 3, I mean stop, or 1, 2, and 4 and stop, and yeah, it can anyway. It can't reach it. The same goes for unit 8. Can't reach it. So that's for these 2 units. As I said, 3 doesn't apply. And now let's go to the cause surround and its descending order. And you know what, I'm going to focus because this unit here has already moved, and let's focus on the other units to just for the movement methods. Okay, and then cause surround. Cause move the hex that if occupied by the unit could cause an unsurrounded German unit to become surrounded. Okay, I mean, this unit is already surrounded. This unit doesn't count, it's already surrounded. This unit is unsurrounded right now, but we would have to get to that hex, and in order to get to that hex we would have to move through this zone of control. It's not happening because let's examine it. Unit number 8 defending, can it reach no, it has to reach this hex to surround it. Or this hex, no, it has to be this hex because you have to control this one as well. So this hex, can it reach it? Because no, it would have to go one and stop. It can't go around because it could go 1, 2, 3 and stop again. Zone of control here, zone of control here. No, it can't do it, and for the same reasons number 4 can't do it. And let's see, can we surround any other units? I mean, we could reach maybe this stack. No, because again we would have to go through the zone of control. These units, I mean, it's pretty tight line here, so they can't do it. Yes, this unit is already surrounded. They could reach, they could go 1, 2 and 3, both of them. But this unit, I have to disappoint, is already surrounded because these two units control all hexes around it, and this unit as well. So it's okay. And yes, this unit, I mean, these units are not surrounded right now, or are they? Yeah, they're not surrounded. No zone of control here. So there's zone of control here, there's zone of control here and here, but no zone control here or here. So these are not surrounded, but they can't go and control any of these hexes over there. They can't just, you can't reach them anyway. It would be 1, 2 and 4. They would stop here as well, and this unit is already surrounded. And let's make they can't surround these units because they can't, there's no way they can control this hex or this. I mean, this is almost surrounded. I mean, this hex is, if there was a hex that they could, oh again, oh dear. No, that's not good. I'm getting tired and I'm afraid I'll make mistakes, so I'll try to wrap it up. Oh, no. Okay, sorry about that. I mean, okay, I was talking about the only unit. I mean, okay, we were talking about these two units. They can't surround this unit. They can't reach they can't even reach these units. They could go here, but this unit is already surrounded, and this has caused an unsurrounded unit. So I'm not going any further. I'm not examining any further. Then to Soviet VP hex. That's interesting. Any unit move to an empty or garrisoned Soviet VP hex. We've got 2 of these. Targeted for the active front and to which German unit is proximate. I mean, no, this German unit is surrounded, so it can't go anywhere. There are zones of control here, no unit can break through and reach. I mean, it's the same thing, and this unit cannot go through here because it would be zone of control to zone of control. This unit, yeah, it's again the same. Maybe this unit is surrounded, can't move at all. So no Soviet VP hex, and they don't start in a Soviet VP hex. And okay, and next, adjacent to German VP hex. Again, it's the same. They can't. Well, they could. I mean, No, they can't. They have to go around here. There can't be adjustment. No, adjustment to German unit in logistics hex. That would be interesting because yes, this unit is in a logistics hex and they can reach it. And let me see if there is move adjustment to German unit in a logistics hex for the active front. Yes, it is, and not currently surrounded. Forgot about it. Okay, it is currently surrounded, so no, we don't meet the requirements. It is surrounded. Okay, and next 8, movement method 8 again. Move to an unoccupied hex that is adjacent to German unit and not adjacent to a Soviet unit, adjacent to the same German unit. Again, descending order. Let's check number 8 if it can move. It can move. No, it can't move. So it's unoccupied hex. It can't reach this hex, let's say, and then again it would be adjusting. If it could reach this hex, it would surround the unit. We have already examined it, so no. This unit again have examined the previous turn. It can't do it because it would always be adjacent to Soviet unit, adjacent to the same German unit, no matter which of the two hexes you choose. So maybe they could. No, they couldn't, because every hex they can reach it. It is adjacent to German unit, is also adjacent to a Soviet unit adjacent to the same unit, and the same goes here for that unit as well, because yeah, I mean they can't even reach there, or can they? It would be 1, 2, 3, and no way. 1, 2, and what, 4 and 3 here, and they would stop here anyway. I mean, it's the zone of control of this unit. They would have to stop here. So no movement method 8. Again, if I am mistaken, please take the time, drop a note, correct me. A unit starting in a hex satisfying this movement method, it doesn't. Okay, follow movement arrows. Easier said than done, because yes. And what it is, it's ascending order. So let's start examining number 4. So the primary arrow would be that one, and we'll go 1, and where's the next? Yeah, and then it would be 2. Yeah, that's what that would be. 1 and 2 and 3 stop. And no, we are not expanding all our movement points. No secondary arrows there to help us. Or here, a secondary arrow here. No secondary arrows. Can't see any secondary arrows in Izium. Okay, the starting hex has a secondary arrow, points here, and that's even worse because it would be 1 stop. And yeah, the same is true for both the units. They're identical in terms of movement right out, both infantry, both the same movement points, same starting conditions. So no, movement method A is not 10, sorry, we can't follow the movement arrows and expand our point. So again, number 11, we resort to number 11, move closest to front objective. Yes, that's feasible, and again it's ascending order. Pay attention because it's critical, because they can get within, move to hex closer to the unit's front objective, not the same distance, and prefer closest to the front, adjacent to German occupied hex with the least strength, or empty hex. The way I see, there are no empty hexes. It could go 1, 2, it could go 3, but it would have to go 4 here, stop, because this hex is adjacent, this hex is 1, 2, this is just 1, so this unit would have to prefer this hex. No, it's the closest they can get. It's just, I mean, come on, what else do we have to do? And number 8, and that's why it's important to check in ascending the order in which you examine the units, because now this hex is stacked with 5 steps, and we can only get a single step into that hex, and the unit we are now examining, what's the matter with this one? Okay, it's a 2-step unit, so it can't, you can't get here, but it can go 1 plus 2, could go 3, no, it would be 3 and stop, or stop here, or 3 and stop. And so there, no, this hex is obviously not counting, but we have to count some hexes very carefully here, because the certain thing is it would be 1 and 2, and then it would be this one, 1, 2. If it moved to 4 here, I mean, it's broken, but yeah, infantry, it's the same. 4 here and stop, it would be again 1, 2, and if it moved here, it would be and stop, it would be again 1, 2. So among these 3 hexes, it can go any other hex, can go here. So we've got to see what is the preferred hex. So preferences, closest, both the same. Adjacent to German occupied hex with the least strength. Okay, that's interesting, because that's a 4 here, and that's better. That's a 9, if I remember. Yep, that's a 9 here. So this is where it ends up. It's again 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But the empty hex, the next preference is empty hex, but it's third preference. The second preference is adjacent to German occupied hex with the least strength. So now that's how it, no questions here, they're both hexes. Both hexes are adjacent to German units, so we compare the strength. Least strength, so yeah, if they were the same strength, then we would go for the hex with the most with the least strength, sorry. And all our units have moved. Remember, with this card we activated just 2 stacks, I mean 1 stack and 1 unit, but you get the point, and not the entire army. And so that's all. Every active unit has moved, and again we go for the attack checks, 9-4 attack checks. And yes, let's again ascending order, and okay, it's 4 against 5 across the river, so it would be that's even worse than here. Actually, it's 4, and this one is 5, and the river across Donetsk river, so it's +1. It's 4 against 6, clear less. Oh, again, you know what happened. I'm tired and sloppy, and yeah, I should just make the attack checks and quit the video, because no way I'm doing the attack properly. So this one is I'm talking about 4, and this one is 5 +1, because it's across the Donetsk river, so it's 4 to 6. The Germans are not dispersed and not out of supply, so it's 4 to 6, clearly less than 1 to 1, so no attack is happening. So next, let's go to number 4, and that's interesting now, because the auxiliary card would come handy. So it's this unit number 4 against these. We check, it's a 2 strength, of course it can be the lead unit, but we include in the check, what do we include? It's active, check active unit at time, lead unit. All other active units that I have not yet attacked, I mean the Popov unit is not active right now, all active Soviet reserves unit that could no reserves. And if the auxiliary card, no auxiliary card, because this was the auxiliary card, shows the assault coordination, then this unit would appear. So it's 4 against 9, we have already checked it's 9, in an improved position, so it's 4 against 10. I don't think this, it would be a suicidal attack. I would love it, as the German, I would love it to happen, but I think here is, they've got better odds, because no, they don't actually. Again, it's this unit, just 3 strength, and it's against a 4 strength in improved position, which makes it a 5, and adjusting to 1 or more supplied. These units are still very dispatched by Earth supplied, so it's 3 against 6. It's way less than 1 to 1. So game over. Not game over, of course. Attack checks over, and thankfully this video can stop now, because the impulse is over, and the the impulse is over. All the units activated have moved, have been checked for attacks, and as I've said, the other commands after steps in the activation are turn 4, turn 2, turn 4, and no dispersed markers that were placed previous impulse can be removed. So that's all. So last step is to let me see. Yeah, of course, sorry. Last step, discard the command card, and thankfully now there are no Soviet auxiliary. There's no Soviet auxiliary card, so the Soviet impulse is finally over, and it's time for our next impulse. But it's time also to finish this video and wrap it up. So see you in the next part with the German impulse.